Alright, tonight we're gonna discuss a central air conditioner that's very dear to me. It's a central air conditioner that definitely marks a place in my childhood. The central air conditioner that I'm gonna discuss tonight are them really old Carrier units, otherwise known by YouTubers as the Carrier Round 1. In 1983, we first moved to Tennessee. About a few years after we moved to Tennessee, they started building all these doctors' offices, and they built there at Star Regional Medical Center. At the time it was Athens Community Hospital, but they started out with building the medical mall, what's called the medical mall. It's kind of like a mall type plaza with all these doctor suites, doctor offices, suites, and the air conditioning units that were seen outside them doctor suites were the first Carrier Round ones that I ever saw. Of course, I remember Mom taking me to the doctor, and we would pass by these Carrier Round ones as I was walking into the doctor's office, and I couldn't help but notice the Carrier Round one. Their unique round shape, and they also had like a 4-bladed condenser fan at the top, which at that time 4-bladed fans were like my favorite fan to look at. And to me that was fascinating. A few years after the medical mall was built, there were a whole other slew of doctors' offices built. I forget the exact name, but they were doctors' offices, there by the hospital. Yeah, this was like going into the late 80s, like maybe 1987. All these new doctors' offices were being built, and the central air conditioners that were installed outside them doctors' offices were the Carrier Round ones. I mean, seeing all them Carrier Round ones outside all them doctors' offices, them suites there, were just so fascinating. And I mean, 4-bladed condenser fan. And something else I also noticed about the units is that they had a logo stamped on the side. Well, they had the Carrier logo, and also they had another logo that said high efficiency. And at the time, Carrier lived up to its name, so I bet whenever they said high efficiency that they actually meant it. It was not only the doctor's offices, but there were lots of other businesses around town. I mean, take a look at the air conditioner units of the businesses, and they were Carrier Round ones. And I also saw the Carrier Round ones installed to people's houses. I mean, I would say the Carrier Round one must have been a really good unit, because I mean, shit, they were a common sight at doctors' offices, and they were also a common sight around all the other businesses I knew of, and also lots of other people's homes. I mean, it's like I saw so many carry around ones that it's like, I actually grew up with them. The sightings lasted all the way from like the mid 80s to all the way into the 1990s and even into the 2000s. I could actually go on and on about how many carry around ones that I saw in my childhood, and I could go on and on about how fascinated I was with them, but I know this video is going to be way long already. If it appears a little bit smoky in the background, I've been vaping my e-cig here. But anyway, let me discuss my most favorite memory of the carry around ones. This goes back to the summer of 1992. In the summer of 1992, me, Mom, and Dad were in Knoxville, Tennessee shopping around for a new car. And we were there hanging out at one of them dealerships, looking around at the cars. And Mom and Dad would have conversations about with the salespeople about what kind of deal we can get on one of their new cars. Of course, as Mom and Dad were doing business with sales associates, I noticed a full line of carry around ones at that car dealership. I went up there to take a look at them, air conditioners. Of course, most air conditioners it was a hot summer night. Most air conditioners were turned on except for just a few. Of course, them carry around ones had these 4-bladed fans. And it was like nighttime out. The sun was going down and it was turning nighttime. And the floodlights of the car dealership turned on. I know the condenser fans on top of them carry around ones turned, clockwise. They had a clockwise rotation, but the floodlights at the dealership made the fans on top of the air conditioners look like they were actually turning, counterclockwise. I was just so very inspired. So very inspired to see the effect of the floodlights on top of the carry around one condenser fans. They made the fans actually look like they were turning counterclockwise. Of course, they were actually turning, clockwise, I know that, but the floodlights had a reverse effect, making the fans look like they were actually turning counterclockwise. I thought that was so very cool. Seeing the effect of all the floodlights, making all them, 4-bladed condenser fans look like they were spinning backwards. I just was so fascinating. It was just so fascinating for me to see all them 4-bladed fans look like they were spinning backwards. Anyway, that's my favorite memory of the carry around ones, is that night in 1992 whenever I noticed all them carry around ones at that car dealership. with all the floodlights of the dealership making all the fans on top of the units look like they were spinning backwards. There, I was just so much in awe, so much inspired. I'll never forget that night. I mean, it was just definitely a moment I'll never forget, I'll tell you that much. Here in Athens, Tennessee, there's a place, there's a building that's actually Citizens National Bank. But where Citizens National Bank is, that used to be Goody's warehouse. It used to be the old Goody's store. And on the side of it, there's like, of the main suites, there's like a big old warehouse. That used to be a part of Goody's storage area. The main suite and also the big old warehouse to the side of the main buildings. Anyway, years and years ago, Citizens National Bank bought out that Goody's location and started their business there where Goody's used to be. And the warehouse that I'm talking about is still right beside Citizens National Bank. I don't know what they're using that warehouse for nowadays. I know it used to be Goody's warehouse, but I think it's still in use. I just don't know what they're using it for. I mean, you got the main suites of Citizens National Bank, what used to be Goody's, plus that big warehouse attached to Citizens National Bank. Which I don't know what they're using that warehouse for. But I know that warehouse to the front side still has a bunch of, carrier round ones. Throughout the years, I know that at that warehouse, some of them, round ones have been replaced. I noticed they replaced some of them with mini split systems. And among all the other carrier round ones, one of them has been replaced with a newer train unit. I drove up there the other day to see if any of them round ones were running. None of them were. Just the newer train unit in among the round ones was turned on, but the actual carrier round ones themselves at that location were not turned on. And I'm thinking, maybe it was a 90-degree day, and you would think, as hot as it was, if them carrier round ones are still in use, that the warehouse would want to have them turned on. But they weren't turned on. So I'm assuming that warehouse is no longer fully air conditioned. I guess they probably only air condition certain sections of the warehouse. They may not be using the total building. I'm assuming that's why none of them round ones were turned on, because the total warehouse probably isn't being used like it used to. But I just kind of thought to myself, if only I could see one or two of them carrier round ones turned on, that would help bring back the night of that fascination I had in Knoxville, Tennessee at that car dealership. To see a few of them carry around ones at the Goody's warehouse actually turned on. That would help bring back alive that very night in Knoxville, Tennessee. All that fascination I had with them four-bladed fans looking like they're spinning backwards. I kind of hate that none of them carry-around ones were turned on, but at least it was nice to see that there's still some carry-around ones in existence today. I mean, they seem like, very, very good units. And it's just so nice to see some of them in existence today, knowing that them carry-around ones, it isn't so much about my childhood memories, but it's also about those were quality built units, just like the Fraser Johnson units I videoed in my previous YouTube section. I mean, them carry-around ones, I mean, they bring me to life. Childhood memories, and also respecting them. Knowing that they were good quality units, designed to last for years and years. Unlike today's China Pride piece of shit central air conditioners that won't even last a decade. One day this week, I'm going to drive back to that old goodies warehouse, and I'm going to shoot a video there. And I'm hoping that some of them, carried around ones will actually be turned on. That would help bring back my childhood even better. See one of them round ones turned on, but they're not. I mean, shit, I don't even know if they're still in use, to be honest with you. Probably just the newer systems are in use. But if none of them units carrier units are turned on, at least it will be nice to see them once again. Anyway, let's go take a trip to that warehouse I was talking about. Alright, this is one of the carry-around ones here. Brings back memories of that night in Knoxville for sure. Got more of them carry-around ones right there. None of them are turned on. I'm not sure if they're still in service or not, but I haven't seen any of them turned on. But the exact same round ones I saw in Knoxville that night. More round ones at a different location of the same warehouse. Look, brings back my childhood memories for sure.